Hello BookTube, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and I have yet another book haul for you. I know I can go a little crazy with the book buying. I'm gonna have to reorganize my shelves and get rid of some stuff in order to have room to put all these books that I've been hauling recently. But anyway, all of the books that I showed you in my last video were from a library sale, or at least most of them. And this time I found myself in a few thrift stores this past week. I was there on the guise of looking for a CD player because the CD player on my kitchen cabinet, or on my kitchen counter, has gone out, and I thought I would check thrift stores first, but I didn't find anything, so I eventually just got a new one at Walmart. It wasn't very expensive anyway. But of course, any excuse to go to a thrift store means that I can look at the used books, and of course I had to do that. So I went to two fairly local thrift stores that are a couple towns away, and got some books there. And then the next day I was in another county, but like 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes from me. I had to go to a dental specialist, and in that particular area they have a Goodwill and a Salvation Army. So I got maybe 2 books at Goodwill and 1 at Salvation Army. I think that was about, so not a whole lot. I have a total of 10 books. Most of them, I'd say over half of them, are either Christian or inspirational, and 3 of them are middle grade, and 1 is a cozy mystery. All of the books are either author buys, or they are part of series that I am reading or plan to read, and so I at least limited it to to books that I knew what I was getting for the most part. So I'll start with the cozy mystery. I am super excited about this because I just read the first one. I had to get it from the library, and I hope I can find my own copy because it may be one that I'll read again. It was so much fun. This is the second book in the soap opera mystery series by Eileen Davidson called Dial Emmy for Murder. The first one was Death in Daytime. I just read it, just finished it earlier in the week. There is Eileen Davidson there. She plays Ashley Abbott on The Young and the Restless, which I used to watch fairly faithfully. I'm not a big soap opera watcher anymore just because I got so addicted to them back in my 20s and teens, and I had to just wean myself off of them or I would get nothing done. And it's almost, I kind of get obsessive about things like that. I'm kind of getting that way now with books and book shopping. I may have to kind of wean myself off of that too, but I'm having too much fun to stop now. So anyway, I am excited to get this. It looks brand new. The spine is not broken, and I'm thrilled to get it. Okay, the middle grade books that I got. I got a Nancy Drew book. I don't collect these, but it was in such great condition, and it's one of the earlier Yellow Spine books, and I just, I think it was like 59 cents at Goodwill. Sorry, Bob was just sitting under me in case you heard the jingling and the scratching of claws on the floor. There's somebody going by on a four-wheeler, and he goes crazy when there's any kind of small engines going by, any kind of noisy engines. Anyway, this is the Clue in the Crossword Cipher. I have a few Nancy Drew books. I'm not really collecting them. I may pass this on to somebody else at some point, but I'll probably read it. I don't know if I've ever read this one. Of course, I didn't keep records when I was a kid of which books I read, but I know I read a lot of Nancy Drew books, and I may have read this one. I may not have. I don't know. And then I got a Spiderwick Chronicles book. I have, of the original series, I've only read the first 3, and I found the 5th one just recently at one of the library book sales I've been to. And this is the first book in the next series called Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles. It's called The Nixie's Song. These books are by Holly Black and Tony DiTerlizzi, and I am looking forward to reading it. I've got to read the 4th and 5th book of the original series first, and then I can get to that one. And it's in great shape. Now, this is a series I have read, but I only have books 1, 3, and 5, and I needed 2 and 4 to complete the collection. It's a series that I might possibly read again. It's such a fun series. Katie has read them, Randy has read them, and I've read them, and it's by Suzanne Collins, who of course is the author of The Hunger Games. This is a middle grade series called Gregor and the Underland Chronicles, and Gregor is an overlander who finds his way to the Underland and has adventures underground where there's big giant bats and cockroaches and just all manner of big things, and it's just really a fun fantasy series that I have thoroughly enjoyed. So I'm excited to find that. Okay, then I'm starting to sweat. it was so nice here. You know, it's been cold, and then it was just so nice this morning that I don't even think the air conditioner's on, but it's starting to warm up a little bit now. Okay, so the rest of these are either Christian or inspirational, and they are all, like I said, they're either author buys or they're from series that I am collecting and plan to read, or series that I'm already reading. So this Thomas Kinkade series, the Cape Light series, is a series that I plan to start probably in April. I think I'm going to be buddy reading the first book with Alana from Alana Reads. It's called Cape Light. And I'm now, of the first 9 books in the series, I'm only missing book 4. This is book 8, and it's called The Christmas Visitor. The first 4 books are apparently not Christmas themed, and then all the rest of the series is. Thomas Kinkade wrote these with Catherine Spencer up until his death, and then, as far as I know, and then Catherine Spencer has continued to write them and is still writing them. So I think every year around Christmas time we get a new one, and I would like to read them. So number 8, I believe, A Christmas Visitor. All right, then this is the only one from this haul that I didn't get at the thrift store. I got it at the library in the same town as the first 2 thrift stores that I went to. This is a bind-up of 3 Lori Copeland books. It's books 4, 5, and 6 of the Brides of the West series. I have a bind-up of the first 3, and then I have just a random copy of the first book in this bind-up, which is called Glory. And I had seen this on the shelf several times before. It's probably been on that library shelf over a year, and I kept thinking, well, I've already got Glory, so I don't need this. But then I started thinking, well, I have the first 3 in a bind-up just like this, similar edition, so why not just have the other 3 in a similar bind-up, and then I can give somebody else my copy of Glory. So that's what I decided to do, and while I was in that town, I just stopped by the library, and I plucked it from the shelf, and now I have it. Lori Copeland is one of my newer favorite Christian authors, and I've read the first 2 from this series, and I'm looking forward to reading the rest. This is one of the series that I have on my 20 by 20 challenge. It's one of the series that I want to read and finish. It is about mail order brides in the kind of pioneer days, I guess it's the 1800s. I don't know if this tells me. Brides of the West, 1872. So there you have it. All right, then another book by Lori Copeland. The very last thrift store I went to the second day was a Salvation Army. I wasn't going to buy anything. I didn't see anything at first, but then I ran across a Lori Copeland book that I didn't have and hadn't heard of. So this is really an author buy. It's called Monday Morning Faith, and it looks nice. It's got a pretty cover. I don't know anything about it. Oh yes, let's see, I read the back of the cover. It's about a librarian who goes on a mission trip to New Guinea, so that should be interesting. And a different Lori, this is Lori Wick. I have the first 3 in this series, and I believe this is the last one. A Place Called Home is the name of the series. A Gathering of Memories is the book. This is not one of the Lori Wick series that I'm in the middle of, but the one that I most want to read, and that I actually have 2 series of hers that I'm in the middle of. One I'm going to start over, and that's the English Garden series. And then the other series is the Yellow Rose trilogy. I just need to read the last one of those. But she's a Christian author. This is published by Harvest House. And anyway, I'm excited to have this one, but it'll probably be a while before I get to that. Okay, and of course the last 2 are more Amish books. I don't know what, I mentioned in a previous video that lately I have been really drawn to picking up these Amish books. It's been a long time since I've read one. I've only read, I think I've read about 5 books by Beverly Lewis. I read The Postcard and the Crossroads. That was a duology. Actually, it says on Goodreads there's a 3rd one, but I think it's just related. It's not really the same people. And then I read The Shunning and that whole trilogy, and I really enjoyed those, but it's been years since I've read them. And I think it was because I picked up some Christmas books this past December, and they were a lot of them were short stories, and some of them were Amish short stories, and it showed pictures that there were others in that series that were not Christmas. So as I've seen those books, then I feel compelled to pick them up. And I haven't read anything by these authors, Beth Wiseman. I have read a couple of Wanda Brunstetter books, and I didn't pick up any of hers. These two books that I got are both by Beth Wiseman and some other authors, and they are books of novellas published by Thomas Nelson Publishing. And I hope they're good. I know it seems like Amish fiction, it kind of gets a bad rap. They were just kind of making fun of it at our book club. And because I had been in our workroom, I don't really do much with book sales anymore, but I was in the workroom just seeing what they had. And I noticed that they had a big bin of stuff that they were going to just pass on to the thrift store without even putting on the shelves. And I saw some pretty nice Amish books. I think I actually bought one of them. And I said, you know, I remembered when I was the book sales chairman, people would come in looking for Amish books. There were a few ladies that's all they wanted. And I said, you know, you really ought to put those out first before you just donate them. So a couple days later, we had book club, and they were some of the ladies, the main two ladies that do the book sales now, are also in book club. And they said, okay, we pulled all the Amish books out. We put them on the shelf. We made a whole shelf of them. And so here you go. Well, I think I lied a while ago when I said I only got one of these books at a library, because one of these two books I think I did get off of the shelf there at our library, and the other one came from a thrift store. Anyway, I said, well, you know, they're just popular, that people like them. But I know just the other day, Jen from Today in Jen's Library, although she's changed her channel name now, I can't remember what it is. We were discussing Christian fiction, and she was, you know, I was recommending Jeanette Oak, who is not an Amish author. She said, yeah, but I think of those pioneer stories, and then I started thinking about the Amish, and I just don't want to read those. And so that's totally fine. But maybe some of you do. Tell me if you are interested in reading Amish books. I've kind of gotten away from my book haul. Let me show you the books, and then I want to tell you an idea that was kind of brought to me. Okay, the one I got from my library is An Amish Harvest, Beth Wiseman, Amy Clipston, Kathleen Fuller, and Vanetta Chapman. That looks really good. Pretty cover. And then I got this one, I think, at the thrift store, An Amish Gathering, Life in Lancaster County, Beth Wiseman, Kathleen Fuller, and Barbara Cameron. All right, so those are the two that I got in this haul. Now, I think I had one or two in the last book haul, and I was just saying, you know, lately I've been just compelled to buy these Amish books. I haven't read one in a long time, and so I think it was Terry Burgess, who is one of my subscribers. She was just commenting about them, and she said, you know, how about Amish in April? And I said, you know, that's not a bad idea. So what I wondered is if there are enough of you out there who might want to join me and read a few Amish books in April. Maybe we could just take a week. Maybe it could even be a readathon. I don't know. I'm almost embarrassed to do it, because then I'm afraid a lot of you who came to my channel because of mysteries will go, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe. Really, that's not what I'm about. But it just sounds kind of fun, and it's certainly different. So if any of you would be interested in doing maybe a little mini readathon, an Amish in April readathon, let me know, because I'm seriously thinking about it. Now, I think there's going to be a tome topple sometime in April, and I don't want to overlap with that because I do want to participate in tome topple. And these books are both around the 400-page range, and I think for tome topple, you're not supposed to read books of short stories. So I do have some books I want to read for tome topple. So I'm going to kind of wait and see when that's going to be, and then maybe figure it out from there. But just let me know if you would even be interested in reading a few Amish books with me. And I won't say which specific ones. You know, if it's going to be a full readathon, we may as well have a couple of challenges. But they, of course, would be, you know, challenges where you could plug in different Amish books. I don't know. It's just a thought. And thank you, Terry, for the idea. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get through March Mystery Madness first, and we'll see how that all pans out, and then we'll see. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you are having a great day. Let me know what books you have gotten recently, and if they're used or new or whatever. As long as you're excited about reading them, then that's all that matters. So I hope you're having a great day. I think I said that 3 times. Read a good book, and God bless you.